some of the examples of their attempts to, let's say, influence someone, disrupt them. Of course, spy on them is easy these days in terms of cell phones or tapping into microphones and cameras that are on laptop and desktop computers, etc. So we know that that's going on in one sense if they feel so inclined to target somebody. But how about if we talk about the mind control aspects of this? How would you go about explaining that for listeners who might not be familiar, how the technology and basically how the technology is being used to do this and pull this off, John?
Well, the human brain is essentially an electrical system. It operates on a very narrow frequency range, and what they've developed and have been attempting to develop since the 60s is frequency modulation ways to change behavior. And there are several theories of thought on exactly how they're doing this. One is using microwave hearing to control people. In our country, there was a researcher in the 60s named Alan Frey, F-R-E-Y, who noticed that certain individuals around radar installations could tell when the radar came off and on. They would hear popping and crackling in their head. Well, this is called the microwave hearing effect. Now, the Army and most of the other intelligence agencies took advantage of this to figure out how to communicate with people in their head via the microwave auditory effect or the Frey effect. An important document that was released through our Freedom of Information Act was the Army's addendum to the bioeffects of non-lethal weapons, and that came out in 1996. This was a study where they were able to piggyback other waves with the microwave energy directed directly at the skull to cause communication inside one's head. And in their study, they specifically state to imagine the deleterious effects on an enemy combatant when they begin to hear voices in their head that are not their own. This came directly from the Army. They also mentioned the value of this type of effect in a hostage situation where you can communicate with the hostage or the hostages or the hostage takers directly in their head without the other one hearing. And they go on to state how that it can't be recorded, that even with microphones in the ear or microphones on the scalp, that the communicated sound via the microwave auditory effect cannot be recorded. So that's one person that's going to hear what you're broadcasting to them when no one else around them can, which is exactly what we're seeing in these victims. Almost all of the victims are claiming someone's watching me, they're telling me what I'm doing, they're telling me where I'm at, they're telling me my thoughts, and I'm communicating back to them without speaking out loud. Well, if you hear voices in your head that are not your own, that's very obviously harassment. But they mimic your own voice. You know, as we read, any one of us, you hear your own little voice in your head as you read a sentence. Well, if they put a voice in your head that sounds like your own voice, well, then that becomes a artificial thought, an artificial thought. And many people will act on those thoughts, and then you have control.
Alright, that's where they literally are using what is known as voice modulating, voice synthesizing, voice morphing, and voice morphing, obviously, where they literally take if this video stops while I'm talking, look at the comments feature of it, in order to be able to see a continuation of these descriptions. What they're doing now for psychological direction, which means when they, what they're doing is they take a target's voice print. I'm talking to you right now with my voice. And what they can do is take my voice print, or any target's voice print, and incorporate the voice algorithm within a software program. This software program